Hey, how's it going? It's Craig. I'm out in the garage and today we're going to take another look at the Neo Geo CD system. Let's take a look. Okay, so I think this is day 3 or part 3 of this repair. The last time we worked on this, we worked on the control pad, so the control pad's working quite nice now. I can go up and down, and left and right. I can even go into the memory system, which I've never been able to get into before. So I'm going to get into the memory. I haven't got a clue what any of it says, and even tried Google Translate and with the camera filtered, and it won't do anything. But I can go back to the start and reboot, so that's all good. I'll let that get out of the way. So the next thing for me to do is try and get this CD to work, because obviously it's a CD based system, and without a CD-ROM working in there, we're pretty stuck. So back in the first repair video of this, I put a audio CD in there. I couldn't use a control pad at the time, so I thought it might have been that, but I don't think it is. I think the CD-ROM is not moving at all. I only heard a single sound come out of it. In the meantime, I bought this. If you've seen recently on my Instagram and other things, I've bought a Virtual Boy as well. So I picked up a Virtual Boy game, Mario Tennis, and this one. This is mint. This is like brand spanking new, and it only cost me 14 quid. So this is King of Fighters 94, and it's brand spanking new. I opened the packet up earlier just to have a look when it arrived. I was quite excited. It's got this little spine card with it as well, which I thought was inside the case. So it's got this little spine card that sits around the edge of the spine. I don't know whether that was for retail purposes or not. I'm going to keep that nice and safe. And then the CD case itself is like brand new, and the CD and inserts and everything, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'll bring the camera over closer. I'm going to pop this in and see if we can get any interaction from the CD-ROM. If that fails, I've got another idea, because a fellow YouTuber has helped me out on this as well. But we'll try and get this CD-ROM working first of all. If we can't get any joy from it, I've got another thing that we can try out. Cool, catch you in a sec. Okay, so let's pop the CD in, open the CD drive up. I've never seen that laser move, and I've never heard it spin or anything else. So we're going to pop this disc in, pop it, close this down, and see if there's any noise. Okay, so the screen is showing that it's detected that there's a CD, but nothing happens. So let's go up to play. Doesn't matter what I press, nothing happens on it at all. I don't think there's anything. It would be either play or just the start button on the control pad, and I tried both and nothing seems to be doing anything. So I think this CD-ROM is a little bit broken. So what I'm going to try and do now is, in by here on the system there's a button you can press in, and that should engage the CD-ROM. So if anything, it should be spinning now. I've got the message back on screen, but that CD-ROM hasn't budged at all. So no, nothing on that. So that CD-ROM is either jammed, dirty, or there's something up with it and it's broken. So we're gonna have to open it up and have a look at what is the issue. So 2 seconds, let's open it all back up and see what is inside. Cool. Okay, so we're going to take the power supply out first of all before we open it up and start working on it. I've taken the CD out just so you can see. I've unscrewed the screws, and we're just going to lift it forward and off, remembering there's a ribbon cable underneath here. So this ribbon cable obviously attaches it all together. This is the bottom of the CD, so we've got 1, 2, 3 ribbon cables and an earth cable by the look of it. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding it in place. So I'm going to take that CD-ROM off, give it a clean up, see what we need to do, and then hopefully put it back together and see if we can get it working. If not, we've got plan 2, which is a replacement drive. Okay, so let's unscrew these. Okay, so there's our CD drive. On the look of it, it's moving fairly clean. It's moving quite nicely. So when I spin those drive motors, it's not like it's jamming and really tough to move. What I might do though is see if we can get some grease onto these rollers, so these rollers dry out over time. These ones got a little bit of dust inside of it, so we might clean them up and put a little bit of grease on those. Let's take it all apart first, get it all off and give it a clean up, and then we'll try connecting it back up before we do anything else. So let's make sure that we know where they are. So the one with the red cable is on the inside, one with the white cables are on the outside. So let's gently remove these. Okay, so this drive, as I said earlier, let's zoom in on it a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so on the underside you can see there's this rail here. So the laser comes up and down this rail. So if I move these motors now from underneath, you can see that it's moving up and down that rail fairly smoothly. There's nothing majorly blocking it. There was a couple of bits of hair and things in there earlier, but nothing major blocking it. And then it comes all the way down and then locks into position. So I don't know whether this is actually an issue or not. It's moving quite freely. We can grease it up just to give it a little bit more of a seamless move up and down that rail, but it doesn't seem to be a massive issue at the moment. There's nothing blocking it, so I'm wondering whether these motors are gone or something else has gone on it. Solder points and all of these look pretty neat. They don't seem to have gone at all, so I don't think that's the issue. What I'm going to do is I will give this a clean out with the isopropyl as usual, and then once I've cleaned it with isopropyl, I'm going to grease this rail back up just to try and give it a bit of movement. Once we've done that, we'll plug it all back in and see if we get any life out of it. If not, we'll have a look at whether we can swap out the drive. Cool. Okay, so I've got some grease. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on the end of that cotton bud. I'm going to literally just rub it into the places where on this slider, and then I'm going to slide the drive up and down. Put that out of the way, just to rub it in a bit. It's moving nice, but I don't think it was the issue. I don't think we're getting any power on there. There was no clicking or anything else. So what we'll do is we'll run it back down to its starting position. Then I'm going to attempt to connect it whilst it's still and power it up whilst it's still in this position, just to see if we get any life out of it really. So let's get the ribbon cables back in and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so that is now back in. It's up and running to how it should be, but I haven't put those 4 screws back in yet, so I don't know whether this is actually going to make any difference at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to power it back on, see if there's any movement from the disc at all. And the one thing we're going to need to do is this switch here is what detects whether there's a CD in there or not. So I heard a click from it that time, and then it disengaged. Nothing again. Okay, so I can hear it clicking. Maybe that's just because I've got it open and I can hear it more now that it's open, but it's not moving at all. There's no attempt to even read a disc. Okay, what I'm going to do is power it down quickly. I'm going to move that laser right to the top of the runner. Let's do it with a... Okay, so I've moved that laser right to the top of the runner now. So ideally, when I power this on, something should happen with this laser. It should move. So it should detect that it's in the wrong position. So let's try and press this now. So it's moving. So I'm wondering whether... Still don't think it's reading it, or it's doing enough. So we know the motor's working, we know it's getting power now. Let's flip it over back onto its... Oh no, we can't. Let's screw it back in, flip it over, and then see if we get anything when we put a CD in. Cool. Okay, so I've screwed that back together. The CD, not the actual unit. I'm going to push that laser with a screwdriver right to the back. Okay, so the hope is that we put this CD in and it reads it, but I still got a feeling that this isn't going to work, but let's try it anyway. Okay, on the screen it's trying to say that it's reading the CD and nothing, so let's put this CD, the control pad back in. Let's go up to play and nothing. Okay, so I think that CD-ROM is dead. I wanted to test it and try it out, but you're not going to get into replacing individual parts of a CD-ROM at this age anyway. You could replace the motors and you could replace the board on it, but it's a bit of a lost labour, to be totally honest. It's not worth the hassle that you're going to put into it to fix the CD-ROM when a replacement drive would probably... You probably need to buy a replacement drive just to get the individual parts, if I'm totally honest. So let's take these ribbon cables back out and then we'll go on to plan B. Cool. Okay, so I think I've taken that as far as I can with this drive. So as I said earlier, you can probably replace parts on this. So I could probably replace this board, these motors, the laser itself, but to change that out is probably the best thing. Luckily, I've got good friends on YouTube, and a massive thank you to Scott, Sega Zombie. Scott's just passed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you've not seen his channel before, go and take a look. I'll pass over to Scott and his other half, Jade, to explain a little bit about what we got here. Cool.
Goodwin's Place. Absolutely loving your content, mate, at the minute. Really enjoying you modding and repairing consoles, bringing them back to life, making them better. And I was really fascinated by your Neo Geo CD video, because when I had my shop back in the day, I used to actually repair a lot of Neo Geo CDs. So I knew I had some spare units somewhere, and I'd love to gift you this, mate, because I know that you've had a bit of a win on that, and that it was just a severed wire. You've repaired that, and just in case you've got problems with that laser, I would like to send you, mate, another laser unit to put in that. Hopefully this one works. Like I said, mate, it's been in a box a very long time, but I'm sure a man with your talents will get that working. So I'm going to send that over to you. Really looking forward to the update on your Neo Geo CD videos. Peace.
So Scott sent this through to me. He didn't even charge me postage. He said that he had it spare in his parts bit, and yeah, he wanted to send it through to me. So look at that, a replacement unit. By the time I swap out all those parts on there, it's not worth it. So let's try this unit into the system, see if we can get some life from it. Hopefully we can get it booted and have a game of King of Fighters before the end of this video. So fingers crossed. Thank you, Scott, for sending this through. Let's give it a go, see if we can get it working, and we'll take it from there. Cool. What I will do is, I've got a couple of isopropyl tips here which have got alcohol on them. Give the laser a tiny clean. I'll clean around here just because once it's in I don't want to be messing with it too much. Everything else is looking nice and clean. What I might do is similar to what we did to that other drive and give it a little bit of grease. So if I look for my cotton bud with the grease on it, I'm going to just literally grease that rail again. This one didn't need cleaning off, it's actually a lot cleaner than that other drive was. Let's move it down, grease it this side as well. Okay, so that's greased up like a, I don't know, I'm not going to go into that. It's greased up, let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to leave it at the top end of this drive. Let's set this into the system and then go from there. Okay, so that's all connected back up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to power it up and see if we get any life out of that laser. What we're going to do once that is done, we're going to push down on this switch. Alright, so the laser's going up and down where it's trying to read the disc. Okay, so I'm a lot more hopeful for this drive than I was for that last one. We never had that once with the old drive. So here we go, moment of truth. King of Fighters 94 disc is going in, and then let's connect the pad up. I want to get ready. If this works, I want to get ready. Okay, so the pad is connected, lid is going down. Let's move this camera up. Okay, so disc is in, control pad is in. Let's shut this lid, see what we get. So it's saying CD. We're going to get anything out of it. Do I have to press play? I honestly don't know how these Neo Geo systems work. Oh man, am I missing something totally stupid or what? I honestly thought that was going to work. Urgh, what a nightmare. So that disc hasn't spun at all. Right, I'm going to lay it. Right, that's perfectly aligned. Neo Geo writing to us. It'll say that it's reading the CD on the screen, or it knows there's a CD in there. And then nothing. Do I have to press? Oh, I have no idea what's going on now. Okay, let's keep looking, see what else it could be. I was hopeful that drive swap would have been the last thing before we could get this up and running. No, nothing seems to work on this, does it? No, and we're back into the memory. Oh, balls. Nobody said it was going to be easy, did they? That's why it's a broken system, because it's broken. So we've got to try and fix it. Just a bit annoying that I honestly thought seeing that laser go up and down that we'd had it and we'd be back to good with it. I wonder if it could be that we need to adjust the pot on it. But then the disc should still spin. It should still try and read the disc while it's adjusting the pot, shouldn't it? Okay. Okay, so that's the two disc drive systems I was trying in now. So the original one, the laser wasn't even moving up and down. There was no activity coming out of the laser, and it was moving up and down the tracks, but that was it. The second drive that Scott sent me was a little bit more promising. So the laser was lighting up. You could see that on the camera. It was moving on the tracks, but it still wasn't picking up that disc to notice there was a disc there to make it spin and everything. I did try adjusting the pot on it a little bit, but I think that laser, with most of these drives, the laser's going to be gone. They're fairly old systems now, so I'm going to fit a new laser to it, and then we'll come back and see how that's progressed. Cool.
So I used to watch their channels, and it just sort of springboarded from there. Really, I then popped on to Adam Shop 16, found his channel, and I just sort of started with Sean, started interacting with him. And this was actually before I started making videos.
That looks a different message to what we had before, so that's good. Oh my god, press. I've not seen that before. Come on. Yes! I can't believe it. It's actually working. So we've now got the new laser in there. Yeah, installed it. Didn't take long at all, a couple of minutes. I've put the footage in for that. And yeah, we're up and running. Look at that, King of Fighters 94. Okay, so as you can see, up and running. We've got the disc reading fine. It's reading both the original disc that we've put in there, and I've also tried the CDR backup, which is running absolutely spot on as well. A lot of people say that the CDR is the reason that these lasers burn out, but I don't think that's true. There's arguments for and against it on the internet, and the laser was only about £16, so I think running the odd CDR on it is not going to damage it in the long run. So that system's up and running. I got the second part of the control pad video to put out over the next couple of days, because I've got another control pad here which I want to demonstrate how I really stripped that one down and resolved the issues on it. Yeah, but other than that, the system's up and running. I've got one more mod I want to do to this, then that system's finished. So that's been a really, really easy repair, if I'm totally honest. So I've had the yellow wire which was snapped inside to do, and then replacement of a laser, and we're up and running. So we've got a working system, which is absolutely amazing. All in, when I count it in for all the cash, I'm not going to probably make any money out of this at all. I'll work it out right on the final video, just to when I do a bit of a recap, but I don't know whether this is going to stay in my collection long term or not. I'll probably move it on. The next thing I want to try and get for it, and I don't know when they're coming out or where I am on the waiting list, is the Neo Geo SD loader. If I can get that, the SD card reader for it, I might hold on to it until I can get that installed, and then see if I can pass it on to somebody in the community that wants to buy a system which is fully loaded and set up then. So yeah, really chuffed, really happy that we've got a Neo Geo CD. Up until a few weeks ago, I'd never seen one of these consoles in the flesh, and now we've got a working system in the house, which is absolutely amazing. I've had a good go on King of Fighters. I've also got the other game I burnt off the CDR was King of Monsters 2, and that's pretty good. I love the original when I used to play that in the arcade years ago, so I had a quick blast on that one. I don't know whether I'm going to pick up any more games. I might pick a couple more King of Fighters ones up because they're quite cheap. I think as soon as you start looking at the Metal Slugs and all the others, they come up to a quite expensive per disc, so I don't want to burn off a load of CDRs for it, but we'll see where we get to. Let's see how it goes. Cool. So thank you for watching. Any questions, comments, or anything else, please put them in the comments down below. I do read and respond to as many as I can, and pretty much everything really, because I don't get that many. Usual stuff, like whatever, and I'll catch you soon. Cool.